Hey guys, it's Jen. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Who else feels that way? Me. I am going live on my page because Kasey Marr and I from our This Is My Brave alumni, we did a live on Wednesday and our connection wasn't the greatest. So we're re-recording because it was really, really good information and I wanted to share it with you all. So we are live and Kasey is going to be joining me in just a few minutes. So it is really crappy out where I live in Virginia today. It is raining and yeah, it's raining. So here's Kasey. I'm gonna bring did my hair today. Good. Hi, Case.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
So I'm gonna
a really good connection.
much better today, I think.
Yeah, can you hear me?
So, how are you? It is Friday, thank God.
Friday.
We barely survived the week, but
Barely.
we are here. And I don't have my earpiece in, so I think we can do this where we can do that buzz exercise again.
Yeah, that's good. I don't have it. So, and I'm not holding the phone. So can you hear me though? Because the speaker's on the bottom.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So I brought an element with me too.
Ooh, and I was also about to say, is it your earrings? Because your earrings are very elemental.
Oh, they are?
Like almost like the chakras. Is that what that is?
No, well, I don't think so. It was just done by an artist. My best friend gave me these for my 40th birthday, and they're my favorite pair of earrings ever.
Those are elements right there, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I brought.
What element did you bring?
I brought fire with me today.
Ooh. Oh, good. I like that.
And it smells good. I just have been burning candles a lot, and today is like one of those days where it's raining and yucky out. So
yeah, it's
hi,
we have the same vibe.
One of my friends just joined.
Oh yeah, Carrie.
So yeah, we're re-recording from Wednesday because we had a bad connection. So I wanted to still share this information with everyone because it's really, really good. And so should we start? Where do we start on Wednesday? I forget.
Well, I think we started with the bee breath meditation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go through the bee breath and then I'll go through the elements and how we can incorporate the elements into helping us stay sane during this.
Yeah.
Right?
We all need that.
So much so. So actually, you're doing so many things with the elements. You got the fire, and you've got the water.
I've got coffee. Well, it's coffee.
Yeah, well, coffee comes from water.
Okay, good.
So first, we're going to start with a bee breath, and the way you do your bee breath. There's two ways to teach you, and I'm so glad you don't have the earpiece this time because I should have mentioned that last time. But you really can begin. This will really truly, it's the one thing that I've found that can stop the consistent negative thoughts or the anxious negative thoughts that begin to spin in our brains. Mm-hmm. So the first way is you put both of your thumbs.
Okay.
And you're going to press them. I should know more technical terms, but I don't. But let's call this the inner part right there of your ear. So you're going to press them, and I'll tell you first, and then we'll do it. So you're going to press them and push that in so you can't hear, basically. Yep. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to take your pointer finger and your middle finger, mm-hmm. Or as my boys call it, the swear finger. They've been doing a lot of swearing with their fingers. It's great.
Yes, haven't we all?
We're all proud of myself. Okay, so you would then, what we're going to do when I tell you is you're going to put the thumbs there, the pointer and the middle finger here, and this is right at your temples. You don't have to do much here, but sometimes I do maybe a little circular motion You want to really be consistent with the breath though.
Okay.
So on your in breath, you're going to breathe in through your nose. And instead of going out your mouth, you're going to hum or almost buzz. And it's a very different way of breathing, because I know you're familiar with this because of yoga. So a lot of times in yoga, we inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And sometimes you don't even actually feel air. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that's what you're really doing, because what I want you to feel and everybody else to feel is I want you to feel, you'll feel a vibration from your throat down to, you can't see this, but right below your chest. And I don't know about you, Jen, but when you are experiencing anxiety, this is the whole region of my body that is like
right here,
freaking out. Okay. So this is going to feel, once we do it, it's going to feel like a drum.
Okay.
Okay. So let's try it. So you'll put your thumbs, put that point in the ear, like you're closing out the sound.
Okay.
Then you're here. And you breathe in through your nose and hum out. Were you able to feel it?
Yeah, I want to do another, like, let's do 2 or 3 more.
2 or 3 more. So and everybody can do these on their own. So it's an inhale and then it's an exhale, but it's not going to feel like a traditional exhale because you're humming. Okay. So you want to feel the vibration up your heart all the way to your throat. So
let's just do 2 more.
2 more. Okay. Breathe in and hum. Inhale. Okay.
It's definitely something you need to do on your own, but to learn the technique, that was great.
Yeah. The other way to do it is, this is for you and I, because we hold a lot of our tension in our jaw. Is you put the pointer and the middle finger again here, and then you cup your chin.
I actually kind of like this hold a little better.
I figured you would, because it really does allow you to hold the space that is somewhat in pain. So we'll do like just one of these.
Okay.
So close the ears, breathe in, and hum out. You can almost feel it at the right here, vibrating.
And it just calms you. And it's like something so simple that you can do when you have like something that just upsets you, or you need a break, and to tune everything out. It's just so great, especially those of us with kids at home that are struggling through this as well.
And they can do it. Like a lot of times we take a lot of breaks. Like I've taught my children how to breathe, and we take a lot of breaks. And that sometimes is like, I'm doing deep breath. And I go there and I do it. And then they sometimes join me, or they leave the room.
I'm going to teach mine, because yesterday we had a very rough hour where we had a major meltdown. And it was kind of all of us, the kids more than me. I was trying to stay calm for them to model, you know?
Right.
But if I would have thought of that, and if we would have had that technique as a family, I think it would have really been helpful.
Yes. And, you know, I think too, Jen, during this time, and I know you and I have kind of talked about this, I'm not modeling, like, my modeling is sort of all over the place.
Yeah,
like
sometimes
I've modeled anger. I've modeled probably a little rage.
Yeah,
I mean, and the one thing that I know that I'm doing differently than probably my parents would say if they were here and still alive is that we're consistently having some form of discussion. So like when they see me with rage, I'm like, guys, I am so, like, I'm so angry right now, and the anger just needs to come out. So we have discussions around it, which I think is really helpful, because you and I discussed this. Like, there's a lot of people out there, and social media is great for these types of things. But then you can compare yourself. Like, we already compare ourselves, but then it's like, great, now we're going to compare ourselves at parenting during a quarantine.
Yeah,
it's impossible. And I'm always the one who I'm like, well, let's talk about kind of what sucks. And
Mm-hmm.
I get it out, and I'm not perfect at all.
Yeah.
Never.
None of us are.
So, okay,
So,
so that's phenomenal for all family members.
okay.
Now, to bring in the elements of nature and to how you can do these things very, very easily and very quickly. And I'm going to go over the way to do them indoors and the way to do them outdoors.
Okay.
So first, I'm going to start with air. So air is, if you're indoors like us today, or what did I say, outdoors and indoors? Either way. So indoors right now for us is kind of challenging because it's raining and I'm not a huge fan of rain. But I am sitting at like my meditation area in my den, and right behind me I have my window.
Mm-hmm.
And I crack it, and you can, regardless of the temperature, because it is pretty cold here, the air just swooshes in immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sit next to it for a minute, 60 seconds, close your eyes, deep breath if you want, that is the element of air just like coming straight in. And honestly, I open the windows a lot here because it also, you can, I believe in negative energy, and we've been brewing a lot of it. So I'll open up a window and be like, get on out. So that's one way indoors. Another way indoors, and it's funny, but these are for my people maybe in the South, ceiling fans and like a standstill fan.
Okay.
The oscillating noise sometimes is very meditative. And then not only that, you are just getting that element like within. So those are two ways indoors. Outdoors is just very, very simple. You're just going to be out there.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're going to be with the air, either if it's breezy or not, or hot. It changes in every single environment, every single region of the country. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Like take at least 5 conscious deep inhales and deep exhales.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. Now, fire. You've got your example going on right now. So candle. Indoors, candle. And honestly, you know, Jen, when people, actually, I use a candle a lot. I can teach a meditation next time, but I actually give, when people have someone that passes away, I give them a candle. And I give them a candle because a lot of times grief feels like darkness. And what I want people to remember is that there is always light, and we are responsible sometimes for that light.
Oh,
so
Jesus, it's so good. I
right?
love that. I love that.
And it's a symbolization. I mean, people light candles for many different reasons, but it is the fire element. It is how to incorporate it. And it's one way that you can just sort of be with it and see it.
Yeah.
And if you gaze at the flame for a while, like again, 4 or 5 breaths, you can literally like transform, like, because it does a lot with your eyes. There's a science.
It does.
Yeah. And also fireplaces. That's another way. Oddly, I forgot to mention this last time. Heating pads. Or the heating bottles.
So funny that we're talking about all this, because one of our alumni from our college edition, Mallory, launched a self-care box business.
Oh, I think I saw you post it. Yeah.
It's called Find Yourself boxes. And
love it.
I ordered one. Just you can fill it with however many products you want. She has all different kinds of things. And there was a heating pad, and I was like, I want that. And it has lavender scent, and I did it last night, and I literally was doing a meditation with Vivi in bed before she fell asleep, and I fell asleep. And she tapped my nose. She's like, Mommy, are you asleep?
Totally.
So relaxing.
So that is a huge, huge, huge element. It's like an indoor element that not only is it just the indoor element of fire, but then it also is extremely soothing. Can, if you hold your stress in your low back or your neck, like you just throw oil on there. I'm not an oil expert, but then just, can you put up the link for the self-care box? You're going to answer these, right?
Yes, I will.
Yeah. So that is another indoor element. Now then outdoors is very, there's a lot of different ways. I have a fire pit outdoors, which is really cool. Obviously, you know, be safe. But fire outdoors, which if you have like the opportunity, like I do, to actually burn in a fire pit, that's one. You can also, the sunrise and the sunset. Yeah. That element of fire is just, I can't even begin to tell you how Well, it's very profound for me. I wake up in the morning and I try, like there wasn't a sunrise today. The sun still rose. It's just different. So those two ways right there
Okay.
are the best ways to connect to fire outdoors, in my personal opinion. Now, water indoors, bath, add like a lavender salt to it, whatever. One other thing that I do, and actually Hudson, my 7-year-old, had to do this the other day because we had a real bad day. I put him in the shower and I told him, imagine that the water, when it hits you, and the water, I was asking him all this. I was like, well, what does the water do? And it was like, well, it goes to my head. I'm like, well, what happens to it after? Well, then it goes to my body. And I was like, well, where does it end up? And he's like, down in that square. He didn't know it was a drain. And I was like, okay, so then just imagine this is the anger and it goes that way. And with the water, it's going to just drain through and go. And then sitting there for, again, a minute, 5 conscious breaths, and making an intention with it to say,
yes,
I'm going to allow this water to cleanse me. I mean, it does sound, some people might think this is like a little woo-woo, but it works.
It does.
Also, if you have that, and again, we're talking about anxiety here, the heart space right here, the chest, the solar plexus, that's where it really abides. So sometimes I'm even in the shower and I'll just let the water like hit me right there. And it's a completely different like sensation and feeling. And it really, I can feel a connection to it. Same with the heating pad.
Yeah.
The heating pad there. Yeah, I'm not joking. Coffee.
Drink.
The root of coffee is water. And as long as you make a conscious connection to what you're doing, it's breathing it, it's taking a few conscious sips. Usually we aren't really conscious when we're doing things. We're just running about our day, right? So those are indoor water elements. Outdoor water elements, obviously, depending on where you are.
Oh, you're frozen for a second. Okay, hold on. You said outdoor water elements, and then you froze for a second, but go ahead.
Okay. Depending on where you are, obviously an ocean, a lake, or a pond.
Okay.
But this is a phenomenal one to do, is grab one of your bigger Tupperware bins, fill it from your water hose from outside. Simply say a prayer over the water before you start, and just put your feet in the water. And allow your feet to just soak in the water. And it's like, it's a cleansing, but it's also like just it's a cleansing. It's a cleansing so that you are breathing and feeling the connection and releasing that element.
Or like today with the rain.
Exactly. Good. Thank you. I was like, there's one more. Rain. Now, if you're one of the people that love to go outdoors and stand in rain, go, please. Snow, depending on where you are, same thing. But to just stand, let the rain fall on you. And I actually was reading this morning, and this woman said something. She said the rain can actually sometimes feel like grace. And I was like, oh my God. Very true. So those are the elements of water.
Okay.
Now, earth and indoors can be a little tricky, but what I have found is laying flat on a hardwood floor. So no yoga mat, no towel. So it's a bit tough, but the earth element sometimes is. But allowing yourself to lay flat and shimmy your body and pay attention to it as you're letting it become more on a deeper connection to the floor. That's one way. Another way you can have the earth element in the house is a potted plant, preferably a live one, because that's really going to feel. And just sitting next to it again, 5 deep breaths, 1 minute. That's the element of earth indoors. Obviously, the element of earth outdoors, there's so many. I can't cover them all, but the ones that I love to do the most. When I am very, very anxious, I will, since I'm in the New England area and it's still cold, I will put on my winter coat and I will go and I will lay in the back of my yard and cover up, close my eyes and breathe. And I allow the back part of the back side of my heart, which is actually the closer spot to where your heart is your back rather than your front. And you lay down and you take 5 deep inhales. And I usually sigh. Like I let out almost an animalistic sigh. Trees. And it's no joke when people say hug a tree. Or sitting at the root of a tree.
Okay.
yesterday or day before, I think it was yesterday, I was having a really bad day. And I just went, sat at the root of a tree, closed my eyes, and I was able to cry. Fine. And that's another way. You can incorporate earth elements in so many different ways.
I loved Wednesday when you said sit on a rock outside. Like there's this really big rock. So we actually live right next to a huge old tree. And so I feel like I love that you're educating me on the elements, because I can go take advantage of the fact that I live by this old tree. But there's also a huge rock next to the tree. And the kids always, you know, when they do get outside, my kids, I have to force them outside a lot, but when they do go, they will play around the rock and sit. And so it's cool.
Well, you know, too, Jen, it reminds me, remember in the documentary, and the part that they filmed me about is, I haven't done this in a while. I did it right when I first moved here and right after the death of my mother and my brother. But I would write down like fears or worries or anxieties or like, you know, experiences that bothered me and I wasn't able to really voice them. And I would write them and I would go to this one tree and I would just bury them under this tree. And it's really funny because when it's still probably somewhat dead. Like a tree expert would probably say it's dead, but I in like the breath of life in it. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, you're green, but it was never green before. So I think that's something too for the element that you can create right now when we are like, I think a lot of us sometimes feel that we don't have the capacity to have that human connection. But then also like, I'm not seeing my therapist on a regular basis and I'm not seeing her in person. I don't have that opportunity. I know we can talk about what is it?
BetterHelp. Yeah.
BetterHelp.
I actually have a
start there
today with my therapist. I'm really looking forward to it. And with This Is My Brave, people can get a month of free therapy. So betterhelp.com/thisismybrave.
Right.
Take advantage of it because we can all use someone who maybe isn't in our house or a friend to really vent and talk about our challenges.
Right. So those are just some ways. And then there's one more element and it's spirit. So spirit is incorporated, I think, with every single element, regardless of what you're doing. If you're doing air, fire, water, earth, you're going to what's going to happen from that is connecting to your spirit. But some other ways that you can just connect to your spirit without including the other elements is journaling, the yoga poses. That's really what I believe the key is. Once you move through a flow, you at the end of Shavasana, you're resting with that deep connection to the deepest part of yourself, whatever word you want to call it. And then I said journaling, yoga poses, and meditation are the best ways to do that. And each of those things actually can be done by any of the elements.
I love it.
Really cool.
So good. So good. So, well, thank you for sharing all of that. And if you jumped on at the end of the live and you missed the bee breath, we are actually going to be uploading this recording of this Instagram live to our YouTube channel on This Is My Brave's YouTube channel. So check it out. It's really a good technique you can use to really kind of tone out what's going on and focus inward and really be mindful. So
awesome.
Thanks, Kasey. Really
good. I'm glad we did it. No technical glitches. Yeah.
No, yes. I appreciate it. And have a wonderful Friday and a really great weekend.
All right. You too.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.